guys, so sorry we haven't been super busy on the channel here lately. It's been about 10-11 days I think since we put a video up of the big leaf cleanups. We've actually haven't done any more leaf cleanups since the weather kind of turned on us and got super cold and wasn't allowing for any type of cleanup to go on. Couldn't get anybody to work. We've got a little bit of equipment issues we are working on getting fixed. I'll talk about that maybe in the next video, but I did get a little clip of some snow we got on November 12th. They said 1/2 inch to a dusting. We ended up with 3 inches, so little off there, but it is right now, at the time of this recording, it is the night before Thanksgiving. So I wanted to get a quick video up. Thank you guys for all the support, all the love, all the awesome stuff you guys have done. I've still got a few videos left from the expo to get up. I know I've been super delayed on getting those up, but I have been super busy with DJ stuff and my product review channel, which if you haven't done so, go check out DJ Fire and Nathan343 product review channel. Links in the description. We've got some awesome stuff going on there. And there's all kinds of cool stuff always going on the 343 channel. But yeah, I want to wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a happy and wonderful, safe day. Hope you make it to your families and make it home and don't eat too much turkey and have a blessed day. But one thing I am thankful for is I'm thankful for you guys. You guys are what make this channel keep going. Awesome things we're working on for next lawn care season. I don't want to jump too much in detail of those because I want it to be a surprise for you guys. But I've also got a little bit of some winter weather outlooks from a couple meteorologists that I have known and followed. So the first one's going to be meteorologist Jesse Walker with his. Now he uses a lot of the weather models. He uses a lot of the scientific stuff to check it out. And then the next one will be meteorologist Kevin Orpert. They're both in the Terre Haute area. So one guy says we're gonna get snow, the other guy says no. Do you want snow or no?
Well, how's it going, New Horizon? We got this stuff called snow on the 12th day of November. Yes. They were calling for a 1/2 inch to a dusting, and we got 3 inches here. There's been reports of over 5 inches of snow all the way over by Altamont. So it was a little bit of a clipper that came through, and it's really cold.
It is that time of the year once again for my winter outlook. I've spent weeks kind of looking over information, finding years that are very similar to this, what we call analog years, crunching numbers. So it's that time once again for my 2022-2023 winter outlook. We're going to start by looking at a few things that I looked at. Snow cover. This is important because if you have a lot of snowpack to the north of this area, when air masses come down over that snowpack, they tend to not modify, meaning colder temperatures are possible here. So I pay attention to the snowpack. Ocean temperatures, the sea surface temperatures, very important to us right now. See this area right here? This is called La Nina, and we're in the 3rd La Nina in a row, which is important. I also look way out here into the Indian Ocean for different types of oscillations there. We look into the Pacific. It's interesting that this area has started to cool up here near the Gulf of Alaska. That's something that I factored into the winter outlook. And of course, the Gulf of Mexico and along the eastern seaboard as well. 70% of the entire world is covered by water, so it's important to see what the sea surface temperatures look like when you do a long-term forecast. Right here, this is the La Nina that we're talking about, and this is the 3rd year in a row that we've had a La Nina. Here's the basic idea of what happens with a La Nina. With the air currents flowing this way, it's kind of pushing some of this warmer sea surface temperature water away, and when that happens, we tend to see some of the colder water kind of upwelling underneath of that, and that can actually change the pattern, the way the air flows across and the jet stream works across the United States. And for us, typically, we get some colder shots with some wet weather here during La Nina winter. So that's something we think about. And it's interesting this year. This is the 3rd year in a row we've had a La Nina. It's very rare. In the last 60 years, this has only happened 2 other times, 75, 76, and 2000 and 2001. And here's how those winters turned out. A large portion of the country was colder than normal, and here locally, a little bit drier than normal. That also was a factor that I looked at. So here we go with the winter outlook. First of all, I think a colder December than we've seen for the last 4 Decembers, so a little faster start to winter than what we've had in the past. I think this winter is going to be colder than last winter. Last winter was a little bit warmer than normal. More snow this year than what we had last winter. As a matter of fact, I think this could be one of the more snowy winters we've seen in the last, get this, 8 years. So a little bit more like a typical winter here in the valley. The first 2 inches of snow or greater, though, I don't think will happen until after December the 12th. I think the very first part of December, probably not real winter-like, but I think we could get into a more winter pattern there after we get in after about the first week. I don't think a white Christmas this year. We have not had one here since the year of 2010. Believe it or not, it's been a long time, but I don't think the pattern is going to be good for that this year. Large temperature swings again this year, meaning 60 degrees or greater from the highest temperature to the lowest temperature. So a lot of variation with our temperatures. More warm days and cold days. I think when we're all done and we go back and look, we'll have a lot of days where it was warmer than normal, but the cold days could be quite cold when they happen. Several clipper systems. These are the systems that clip in from the north, come across this area, and they can provide some snow and some wind when they move through the area. At least 2 record or near record high temperatures. When I looked at the analog years, I didn't see a strong correlation to record cold. I saw a strong correlation to some record highs. So a couple times we'll probably see some record high temperatures. An increased chance of ice this year, but the odds of seeing a big ice storm look pretty low to me, but we could see a few of these small ice events causing travel troubles. Most active part of the winter, I think, will come in the second half of the winter. I think the jet stream pattern is going to be more active in the second half of the winter. Coldest part of the winter, I also think, will be in the second half of the winter when things get a bit more active. Near normal sub-zero days. We average about 3.5 times that we would go below normal, 3 or 4 times a winter. I'm forecasting between 3 and 5 times that we'll see the temperatures here drop below zero. Less windy days than last winter. We had a lot of wind last winter. I do not think that's a pattern this year. Less windy days this year than last. The only month I saw a strong correlation to temperature when I did the analogs was January, and I do believe January will be below normal in temperatures. I didn't get a good strong feel for December or Feb, but January looks to be cold. Could be the coldest winter we've seen in 8 years, going back to 2014, 2015. So again, you're kind of seeing the idea here, colder and more snow than we've seen in recent years. Last year I did some videos on what I called high impact storms, storms that had a high impact on this area. I think there'll be a few of those. That could be severe weather, or it could also be snowstorms. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I think the heaviest snow will fall in the second half of the winter, again when it becomes more active across this area. And I think also we'll have at least one severe weather outbreak. We had one of those last year on December the 10th. I think we've got another one in our future this winter. A cool start to March, but I think we'll come out of that fairly quick after that, and some snow in early March. But I think March will warm up faster than some of the March weather we've had in the past. So temperatures for the winter, I'm predicting below normal by about a degree. You can see there, so a little colder than normal. Precipitation, this is melted snow and rain. I'm forecasting down here to be a little bit below normal. And snowfall I'm forecasting to be near normal. Normal is about 14.8 inches. I'm forecasting 14.5. So near normal on snowfall here in the valley. You can find the complete outlook with all of the charts and graphs at mywabashvalley.com. And of course, also at our sponsor locations, we will have some brochures and also some ice scrapers while they last. So go out, check out the sponsors, and pick up the outlook as well.
Well, you heard it there. So Mr. Jesse Walker is a meteorologist in Terre Haute, southern Terre Haute, kind of down the Farmersburg area. So he kind of, basically they're forecasting for, my area too, but more or less Terre Haute area. That's their main area. That's where their studios are. So we'll see what pans out. He don't think we're gonna have a white Christmas. He thinks we could see some more ice. He thinks it could be colder than the last 4 winters, which we've had some cold in the last 4 winters, but apparently it's gonna be colder when they average the December, January, and February together. So we'll see. Now there's one other meteorologist that has an outlook, and this is Kevin Orpert, who is also in the Terre Haute area, actually in Terre Haute, and he doesn't really look at what the models are showing. He goes by what the times and the trees and the plants and the animals and kind of what Mother Nature is telling him. So let's see what he has to say.
Here for my winter forecast, I set aside all the computer models and scientific methods and do a forecast based on natural signs. But before, I thought I'd check and see what people are really looking for this winter.
I'd like a Texas winter, 70 degrees and sunny all winter long.
I would like to have a sunny, warm, 60-degree weather all winter long.
Hopefully not too much snow. I'm really not ready for ice or anything.
I like Christmas snow.
Ooh, Christmas snow?
Yes. Well, I'm just moving here from South Carolina, so I haven't seen snow in a while. So I'm thinking a snowy winter.
So there seems to be a difference of opinion about what kind of winter we should have, and the signs seem to disagree as well. For example, these flowers have continued to bloom well into November, and my mom's roses also had a second bloom late into the season. That could mean a very cold winter. The persimmonseeds I've looked at almost exclusively show spoons, which could mean more than average snowfall. But this hornet's nest is pretty close to the ground, which could indicate a below average season of snow. And here's something I haven't seen in quite some time, a mostly white woolly worm. The other woolly worms I've seen have been a mix of black and brown. Squirrel's tails are about average, but there are a lot of acorns. There are a few other things I take into consideration, like the phases of the moon and the time that the moon changes its phase. Plus, I think this year we could see a big difference between the north part of the viewing area and the south part of the viewing area. And it's also possible some of us may be dealing with more ice than we have in past years. December. December temperatures will be about average. Precipitation above average. The 1st to the 7th, cold with flurries. The 8th to the 14th, fair. The 15th to the 21st, snow and breezy. The 22nd to the 28th, snow and colder. That means we could have a white Christmas. And the 29th to the 31st, rain-snow mix, possible ice, and breezy. January. January temperatures will be about average. Precipitation above average. The 1st to the 7th, breezy, cloudy, snow, especially around the 3rd to the 5th. The 8th to the 14th, flurries, turning cold and windy. The 15th to the 21st, snow, especially near the 21st. The 22nd to the 27th, fair, a little bit warmer, and the 28th to the 31st, windy and turning colder. February. February temperatures will be about average, precipitation above average. The 1st to the 7th, very cold, clear, then warmer. The 8th to the 14th, breezy, snow and colder. The 15th to the 21st, breezy with flurries, and the 22nd to the 28th, rain, snow mix, and possible ice. So in conclusion, I think it's important to remember not to take this forecast too seriously. I do it for fun, mainly, to see if old ways of forecasting match up with modern ways of forecasting. Sometimes the old ways can be just as reliable. So here's what I think is going to happen. I believe that the temperatures this winter will be about average, but precipitation will be above average. But just because precipitation is above average doesn't mean we'll have more than average snowfall. And as one wise old man once told me, we'll know for sure in April. For Storm Team 10, I'm Kevin Orr.
Well, thanks guys for checking this one out. Hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll keep you posted. Hopefully if the weather doesn't turn rainy and crappy next week like they're talking, we will be back in action. We've got like 2 or 3 small, more little leaf cleanups to do, and hope to do those first of next week if the weather doesn't change it. We've also got a tree to cut down and get cleaned up. We're going to be demoing out a battery operated chainsaw, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be awesome. I want to give a big shout out to Skater, I believe is the company that sent that over to check out. So there's going to be a video on this channel and a video on the 343 channel. This one's just going to be kind of a talking about it, kind of a review. The other channel will be a more in-depth review of the chainsaw, so if you want to go check that one out too, go check it out, but make sure you check this one out too. But thanks for watching. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for all your support. Happy Thanksgiving. See you in the next one.